Hello, everybody. This is Sue Maya and another episode of Quantum Theology. Today we're going to talk about divine order, God's divine order, the order, the design, the schedule that He decides, that He put into motion. He put the whole universe in motion. So who are we to argue with that? But here's some passages to think about. My life is in order because I'm an intricate part of an orderly whole. About divine order. When I consider the wonder of God's creation, the stars, planets, animals, people, and so much more, I catch only a glimpse of the variety and the vastness of life. God's world is teeming with life, even in the seemingly barren spot, and supporting all the activity that is going on and coming forth is an order which never causes harm to everything in its divine order. It never ceases to sustain and uphold. So whenever my life seems out of order, I remember the wonder of God's creation and the order that holds it all together. And it just may be in order for me to make adjustments in the way I think and what I do. But as I do, I remember that I am living in a world of God's creation. I am a part of a wonderful whole that is in divine design. And out of Psalms 105, seek the Lord and His strength. Seek His presence continuously. Remember the wonderful works He has done. And because God has the entire universe the way He wants it, the timing of it, things coming into being and falling out, things that are lost and things that are found, contracts made, contracts broken, people who come and go. He knows all of the intricate connections, so we have to trust. We have to trust in it, even if we don't see the results that we want right away. And if something is harmful, like, yes, I did hesitate for a moment because I had to think, is there no harm in the universe? I had to question myself while I was reading that. And I thought, well, yes, in a sense, from our point of view, it looks like, yes, there is harm being done. Yes, there are problems. Yes, it seems like, there is injustice. However, that is from our limited perspective. In God's perspective, if something gets sick and dies, that's part of His order. If a tree lives 250 years and starts dying from the inside out, and they come to cut the limbs and bring it down to a stump, that tree probably had its time. And in God's order, He decides that it's time for that tree to find another life. Maybe a life as firewood. Maybe a life as a place for insects. Maybe it's a place for snakes and squirrels. Or maybe, just maybe, the ground underneath needed more sun and rain to come through. So we don't know all the reasons that things happen. So I apologize for hesitating at that moment, but I had another realization at that same moment. Sometimes there are things that happen in our world that we don't agree with, and yet we can learn from it, we can grow from it. If something dies, it has made room for more life, and the life continues. It's like I was thinking the other day after watching this series, and I'm continuing it, called The Cosmos with Neil deGrasse, who is a physicist. In it, he explains, as far as we know, this universe may be one of many, many universes in a multiverse. And this universe that we're in seems to be about 13.7 billion years old. And this only planet that we know of, that we're living on, is only 4.6 billion years of that. But we have to assume that there are other planets out there where life is sustained, grows, dies, changes, where they have elements, where they have a different construct of reality, where they have different chemistry, things that we know of and things that we don't know of, all combined in our universe. And on this earth alone, 4.6 billion years of it, from geology studies and ice core samples and so on, it has been discovered that the Earth has regenerated its entire ecosystem about 5 times over through supervolcanic eruptions and ice ages and meteor hits and so on and so forth. So at least those are just 3, and there were more. Entire species were extinct 5 times over, and the Earth has regenerated itself. It's amazing. It's a miracle, and no human being alone could change that. In fact, human beings are one of the last species to walk on this planet, and that's only been in the last maybe couple million years. So, you've got to have more faith that God's design is much bigger, much greater, much more lasting than any little plans we can make. Therefore, have more faith in it. And here's another passage I'm going to share with you about patience. I am patient. After planting a seed, I patiently await for the first sign of new growth. But during this time of patience, I realize that the miracles of new life are taking shape. And the patience I give to that seed, I also extend to myself and others. Everyone needs time to develop understanding and other skills. Being patient, I dedicate myself to living in this moment, not in the future, and trusting that God's order will prevail. God is a God of order, and so I'm guaranteed that my blessings will come to me at the right time in the perfect way, and so will everyone else's. Knowing this, I can be patient with anyone I may encounter, and I find that a little patience goes a long way in promoting better relationships with everyone. And out of James 5, lines 7 to 8, the farmer waits for the precious crop from the earth, being patient with it until it receives the early and late rains. So you must be patient also. It's a good metaphor, farming in general, because, first of all, you've got to have faith and trust in the DNA of every seed that you plant. But maybe not every seed will grow, but you still have to lay out thousands and thousands of seeds to have a crop. And that crop cannot be plucked and pulled, and you can't dig it up and look underneath and say, does it have a root yet? Let me pull that out again. Let me see if it has a root yet. You can't do that because the seed will never grow that way. You have to trust. You give it water, sunlight, air, and time, the time of the seasons for it to grow, for it to flower, to pollinate, and produce fruit. And all of that has to be natural time. It can't be our own impatient time like, I need corn now. And then you go out and keep plucking on your corn, and you'll never get enough of it that way. You have to trust in the seasons. And the seasons were not put in order by us. We may have done some geoengineering, but we still have seasons. We still have summer coming, and then there'll be fall and winter and spring to follow. No matter how aggravated you are with your life or frustrated with conditions, with people, with the state of affairs and politics and economics, you will never be able to change God's order, His creation. You can scream at the sky, but you will not change the sky with your anger. You have to be patient and let things unfold in a natural way. And also in your prayers, you say, Lord, I don't know everything. You do. Show me what I need right now, what I need to do right now. If it's to do nothing, I will do that too, and I will wait. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the Holy Spirit tell me, just wait. Just wait, because the right things will come along. The right people will come to pick up your donations. The right place will show itself. The right people are moving away. Everything is turning. The world is still turning. I have to wait sometimes. I can't make it happen just when I need it, just when I want it. I have to wait. And this is what I've heard lately. And why do I have to wait? Because divine order is much greater than my own will. My own will, which can be very strong at times to make things happen, could actually get in the way of something really good showing up. Our own will can make things happen, that's for sure. But sometimes our own will can make things happen that are less successful or less enduring than what God's will has in mind. So we have to turn over some of it. I'm not saying be passive or submit to every little thing, but to discern what is your part to do, what is His part to do, and what is the part of the universe to keep turning so that everything works out in divine order. Thanks so much for listening, and I will be posting some of these on YouTube as an audio file. So you can go to Quantum Theology Radio on YouTube, and there's a few things there already for you to look at, meditations and other talks that I've done before. So there's always enough to listen to, watch, and be inspired. Thanks so much for listening again. We'll continue with our discussion.